Hi friends, today we are going to learn design of the activity screen. So in this lecture we will be looking for the basically three layout. Name is table layout, relative layout and linear layout. Apart from them we will also see the different type of attributes available to specify the position as well as to specify the properties of your elements. Alright, so this is the second part of our screens and layout. In this lecture we will be basically looking for the design part of your activity. So as we know that XML resource is file. XML, what is XML? XML is used to design of your screen, alright, as well as to store the data in your application development. So here how to design the screen of any activity. So as we know that set content view method is used to link the XML file to your activity. So in this XML file we will be specifying how many type of element we are going to use for that particular activity and which are the attributes we will define to specify the size as well as position as well as the properties and the display options of elements. Right. So here we will be designing our XML file into the layout folder inside the RES folder. So when we are going to develop this any Android application, so in Eclipse file directory structure, inside that we will be having the RES folder, inside that we will be having the layout folder, and inside that we will be designing our different XML file for the screen linked to the different activities. Alright. So as we know that each and every elements into the Android systems are the child class of the view class. Alright. So the view class is a base, or in other words I can say the view class is a base class of all the user interface elements available into the Android system. So which are the user interface elements available? Just like checkbox, radio buttons, text box, text view, edit text, right, spinner, all are called user elements. And each and every element will cover some rectangular area on the screen, and they are also responsible for drawing itself. In the sense, suppose you have specified a button, if you have a requirement to use a button for your screen, and if you are specifying the size of that button onto the screen, that means it will cover some rectangular area, and that particular rectangular area is responsible for the drawing itself for that rectangular screen. And around that rectangular area will be specifying the attribute of this button. So in the sense we will be specifying the properties of that button, so it will show accordingly. Suppose you have specified the background property of that button is white, so it will show white color in that particular rectangular area. And they are also responsible for the event handling, in the sense action listeners. Alright, we will be getting aware about this action listeners later on. Action listeners are is a very key part of your designing application. How the user are going to interact with your element. Suppose you have specified the button, right? So there is no use of button if a user is not going to click on that. So if you must specify the on click event on this button. So what a user should do with that button. So if you have designed a form on your screen, and the user has entered the text into that form and is going to submit this form, so the user will click on the button. Alright. So button what system should react while user click on that button. So that will be taken care by the action listeners. That means these are event handling, alright, which is also responsible for the event handling. Now as we know that there will be a in most of the application designing will be using this type of elements. text view, edit text, checkbox, radio button, spinners and buttons. There are multiple other elements are also available for the advanced level of designing, so that we will see later, right? So as you know that view element is a base class of all our user element, and apart from that we'll be also having a container class. Container class is used to contain all these elements. That is, container class is a view group. Alright, so if you are specifying your elements in one particular layout, that layout are the child elements, child class of the view groups. Alright, so here as we know that linear layout, so inside the linear layout we will be specifying the linear layout parameters, parameters, as well as we will be specifying a relative layout. So inside linear layout will work as a container of the different elements. Inside that elements will be specifying the attributes of these elements. Alright, so as we know that view groups are also a container of the layouts, and as well as they are also a view element, right? So if you are that means that each and every view groups are also a view, right? They are each. Suppose you are specifying the linear layout, they will also have the attributes. This is size, background, width, length. They will be also having different type of attributes, as well as the view. This is elements. They will be also having the attributes, but elements will be specified under the container. These containers are the layouts. Layouts in terms of linear layout, relative layout, and tab layout, grid layout, and even. Alright, so this is how the hierarchy can be followed for the container of the element. Which are the different types of attributes are available for specifying the property of any element? So here we'll be using background, padding, font style, size, position, text. There are multiple other options are also available. So what is the use of background? Background is used to specify any specific color, any specific image for that particular element. Padding is used to specify the size. Padding is used to specify the space for that space between that particular rectangle screen, and as well as the screen of your element. So we will be seeing how padding should be specified in this lecture later on. And we can also specify the font size. Alright, font size is suppose you are using a text view. So how you can specify the font size? Suppose 15 pixel, 10 pixels. So whatever size you want to do to your element. Alright. Apart from that, we'll be also specifying the position of the element. Position in the elements in terms of height, width. Alright. Text is self-explanatory, and there are multiple options available that you can follow for when you are going to develop a project in Eclipse. The list of attributes are available there. You can easily study that. How to specify the different attributes of any element? So here we must it must be preponded by Android:ID. ID is used to specify the ID of your element. So this ID will be used by the Android system to identify this particular object. As we know that each and every resource will be identified by the identifier, right? I have already told you. So this is ID attributes is used to give a ID to any button. So if you are specifying @ in the sense you are going to get the reference of this from the r.java plus ID. That means you are going to create a new button, and if you are going to refer any old created button, you will not use a plus, you will only use @ID/my button. That means my underscore button as ID has been is already generated into the r.java. In the sense it is exist, and you are going to refer it. Alright, so this will be taken care when we are going to learn a relative layout. Alright, and we can also specify the position in terms of layout_width, layout_height. So there will be also multiple options for wrap content. Alright, so here wrap content is used means it is only used for the size actually required by this button, nothing else. Alright, so if you have specified the whatever, suppose you have specified the text of this button as a small string, so it should only take that rectangular screen, not more than that. Alright, it should not cover the whole screen, it should only cover the small rectangular screen that is actually required by this button. So that we'll see later when we are going to learn the attributes and all. Then we will specify the text. Text is used to give the what should this button display. Suppose you have OK button, so OK button you can specify as a string key value pair in my underscore button underscore text into the string.xml. Alright, so that will be string.xml is used to store all the string resources that you are going to use in Android application development. Alright, so you must specify whatever string you are going to use for any elements or just display in the terms of key value pair into the string.xml, and that key will be used here to get the reference of the value. Alright, and find view by ID. So this all elements you will be specifying into the XML file, layout XML file, into the res/layout/main.xml or whatever name you have given there. So but how, suppose you want to change these attributes dynamically when your user is interacting with the application, so you need to refer to these objects whatever has been loaded into the memory. So how to identify the different object that will be used by that will be taken care by the IDs. So you can identify any object named button by using the ID of that button. But how to create the reference object of that button? So here it is this method is used to create the reference object of that button. So find view by ID and just specify the ID of that button, and just assign this object to any local created object of button. So that will be, that button can be referred by that local object. It will be this will be a layout manager attribute. So which are the different layout manager attributes? As I told you that ViewGroups are the layout manager. Alright, so inside that we will be specifying the layout attributes are the height, width and gravity. Gravity is used to specify the position of your layout, in the sense central or side or whatever. Alright, just like that. Now here we'll be looking for the linear layout. This is the first basic layout. This is a view group that is used to contain elements in terms of vertical orientation or horizontal orientation. So here you will be only having two type of options: horizontal orientation or vertical orientation. So if you are specifying the 5 text view, that must be in the horizontal orientation or vertical orientation. So that orientation you must specify. Alright, so in the code that will be easily you can understand when you are going to develop the when you are going to design the screen of any activity. So here this is the basic example of any linear layout. So as you can observe here that fourth attribute is Android orientation equal to vertical or horizontal. In the sense or horizontal, in the sense you can specify the value of this orientation attribute as vertical or horizontal. So if you specify the vertical, that means whatever elements there are as a child element of this linear layout will be given a position vertically one by one. And if you have specified horizontal, that means they will be given a position horizontally one by one. Alright. Now the second is table layout. So table layout is used to design your screen in terms of rows and columns only. That means you can whatever element you have to design for the screen of your activity, that will be given a position in terms of rows or columns only. Right. So in one row there may be multiple columns. Alright, and you need to specify the row. Alright, so here there is a basic example of table layout. It's just like a linear layout, but here you will not be specifying the orientation, but instead of that, as a child element you must specify the table row, and inside that you can write as many you can specify as many element as much you want. So suppose in the first table row block, if you specify the two text box or text view element, that will be then that means that it is this table layout is going to cover is going to design two columns for in particular row. Alright, just like that for the other rows. Relative layout. So in relative layout you will be specifying the position of your element related to the position of other elements. So if you have body name, alright, so here in this screen if you have body name and you want to specify the position of edit text just right side of this body name, then what you should mention when you are going to design the edit text element, inside that if you are going to use a relative layout, that means some more attributes property will be enabled for that particular edit text, and you must specify that this edit text must be the right side of the body name text view. Alright, that means you see when you are going to use the relative layout, multiple attributes will be enabled for you to design to give the particular position to the current element relatively to the position of the other elements. So this is it is very easy, and you need to just refer to the element by using the IDs of those elements. Alright, IDs of those elements. Suppose here, as when we are going to design the size of when you are going to specify the attributes of text view, I must have specified the ID of this text view, right, body name. So when I'm going to design the size, when I'm going to design the position of edit text, inside that edit text, what I will write, I will specify the attribute to Android colon to right of equal to against whom I want to specify the position. It's a body name. Alright, so I should specify the to the right of body name text view. How I can refer to the body name text view? By using the ID of that text view. Alright, so that will be taken care when you are going to design, when you are going to do some more practical stuff. So these are the different additional attributes while using a relative layout. So this will be enabled to you when you are going to design a screen of your activity into the relative layout. Alright, layout underscore above, align baseline, align borderline. So these are the very easy self-explanatory. Now here we'll be also specifying the position geometry. So if you are going to specify the width and height of any element, so you can specify these attributes, as well as the length. There are also multiple length units available in Android. It's like pixel, density, independent pixel, scale pixel based on performance, port size, inches and mm. Pixel you can easily you can easily refer that it is a physical pixels of your screen. Alright, is a physical resolution of your screen. Here the new terms are the DP and SP. So density independent pixel, you may wonder that what is the DP. So DP is relatively to the 160 DPI screens. So 1 DP equal to one physical pixel on 160 DPI related scale. So suppose this will be relatively to your the physical pixels of your screen. Alright, so there is one equation for that. 1 pixel equal to DP into DPI divided by 160. So if you have 240 DPI, if you are going to mention 240 DPI, that means your DP is going to represent 1.5 pixels. Alright, so you need to use that equation, DP into DPI divided by 160, and SP, what is the use of SP in the sense scale pixel based on performance font size. So there is no recommended to use a DP for the specifying the font size. You should use only SP. Alright, so that will be automatically preferred on the font size. Inch is used to give the length to your elements according to the physical size of your screen. Alright, and just for just like that, you can also use a millimeters. Now how to use what is the use of padding. So as I told you, the padding is used to mention the space between your rectangular screen of your element as well as the actual between the border of your element. Alright, so here padding can be given by length. Suppose you want to, as we know that if you want to give the space to this rectangular screen and to the text edit text of the tray, so how you can specify the space as a padding attribute. For the margin, you can specify the margin. As you can here observe that the margins, this is the first, as you know that you can observe that this is the first white screen. Alright, body name and tray. So if you want to specify the margin between the screen of your phone, and as you can easily observe that the white color border, blue color border is there, right? So that you can specify as a margin. Alright, padding is used to give space internally into the rectangular screen, while the margin is used to give the space between the rectangular screen to the other rectangular screen of the other elements. Right? These are the basic questions that you should you should take care when you are going to design the elements. Which and how many view elements do you need? So if you are going to design your screen, so you should ask yourself that how many elements you are going to use for that particular screen, and you must specify specify all those elements in one list, and you should go ahead with how are my view elements are into the screen. So again, after deciding how many elements and which type of elements you are going to use for that screen, you must design the how you are going to arrange those elements on the screen, linearly, grid-wide, table, or just relatively, and according to that you should use different layouts. And after that you should design how should each of your element look. So you should specify the background color, font sizes, styles, and padding as margin accordingly, and you should mention these attributes in your elements. So this is how you can design a screen of your activity. Alright, so thank you for listening me. So on the next we will be going to cover how to access the other applications. Alright, thank you.